already seen what the particular explosive configuration that is building throughout the month of January looks like. Yesterday, which was January 6th, 2021, a group of a mob of rioters stormed the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. This is not surprising given the astrological aspects we have building. It's a little bit early. One would have expected that since we haven't reached anything like the peak of these aspects, it makes one wonder what's going to be happening next. And that is the question on a lot of people's minds is there more? Given that January 20th is the inauguration, what do things look like then? And let's also take a look at what was happening yesterday, January 6th, as the events were taking place, and what this indicates for the coming month. So we have a new moon on January 12th, and then on January 20th, which is the day of the inauguration, that is actually the quarter moon. But let's look first just a little bit at what the aspects were like yesterday. Let's see, we're gonna share the screen there we go. All right. First of all, so this is at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time in Washington, D.C., and you can see from this grouping of planets up there at the top, anytime you have a bunch of planets at the top, that's something visible, something, something noticeable, something happening, something in the public eye. In a person's chart, this has to do with them in the public eye, which is usually a career. So you see that there's a lot of activity there in the public eye. This is actually part of the challenging configuration that is building, which is this group of planets, which is Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, and Pluto. And I went backwards because it's going like this. And they are making a challenging aspect to Mars and Uranus. Now, these are the two planets that we have to watch out for. Mars is moving towards Uranus. Mars is the fight or flight, defend my own territory, mine and mine alone. It's like the ego, the self, like I'm taking care of myself. My job is to take care of myself. My job is to make sure that I'm safe, to protect myself and the ones that I love, and to fulfill my ego needs. Now, that makes it sound bad, and Mars isn't a bad thing. A healthy ego is a necessary part of being a human being. So protecting your ego needs is, that's what happens in life. It's not all a bad thing. You do have to take care of your body, all that kind of thing. That's Mars. But Mars is moving into the same place it's called a conjunction with Uranus, which is the pull the rug out from under your feet. It's like the disruptor. So this is not a good combination. Just those two planets together, all by themselves without anything else happening. This is like not a happy camper. It could be at the very least, it could be accidents, it's disruption and it's anger, and it's like, oh, you got in my way and I'm gonna take it out on you. It's really not happy. But so that all by itself is stressful enough to deal with, but manageable. But it is making a difficult aspect to, especially starting off, these two planets, Saturn, which is the disciplinarian, and Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is generally positive, and most even stressful aspects to Jupiter are generally, okay, maybe a little over the top, but manageable. But because Jupiter is the major beneficent, it makes things bigger. So if Jupiter is there in the mix with a bunch of other planets, like in a stressful aspect, it might help things out a little bit, but it might just make everything bigger, everything like more expansive, more like I've got to do something. So, and again, Jupiter and Saturn together isn't necessarily a bad combination. They actually kind of work well together. Saturn gets things done, and Jupiter brings the rewards for getting things done. But those two planets in a difficult configuration to Mars and Uranus, especially Mars and Uranus in a square to Jupiter, this is potentially problematic. It's Jupiter is the disciplinarian and wants to apply limits and you know, make things the way that they should be, the way that they need to be. When with that particular combination, there's a lot of frustration building, and there is more likely to be conflicts, like we saw yesterday, where there is the authority versus and versus um, the sense of being attacked leads to another attack. Now, an interesting thing to look at is this planet Neptune. As the month continues, almost everything gets caught into, and everything already almost is, this particular stressful aspect with these 4 planets, and here's the sun moving into it, and these 2 planets. And this planet is also moving into there, that's Venus, but Neptune remains separate. From time to time, it makes an aspect to the sun or to the moon, or it will make an aspect to Venus, but it's really a little out of this. So Neptune is the problem that we're looking at here, or Neptune is crucial in terms of understanding what's happening. And Neptune is, on a good day, Neptune is, we are all one. It's altruistic. There are no boundaries between us. We are all the same energy vibrating. We are one spirit, one reality is where there's no real boundary between you and me. That's on a good day. On a good day, then it's also very spiritual and very altruistic and self-sacrificing. On a bad day, it's the alcoholic crackhead parent screaming at the kid for being hungry and throwing things at them. It's on a bad day, like Neptune is disinformation, lies, it is willful refusal to see reality. So this is all, and some of what we've been seeing. And that finding a way to activate the more altruistic aspect of Neptune, rather than the I'm going to believe whatever I want to believe aspect of Neptune, is going to be very important as these aspects continue to build.